Get back to that Diana Ross story. How was it opening for Diana Ross?
Okay, so let's take it from this point of view. Like I said, I did the Tonight Show. The next night I was opening with Natalie Cole. This Will Be, she had all of those big hits, right? And then I left her and I went to George Benson. So I'm learning how to be, and I'm the only black comedian at the time opening for all of these people. I left George Benson, I went with Helen Reddy, Black and White, Perry Como, Smokey Robinson. Then all of a sudden the agency says to me after George Benson, Diana Ross. And that was back in the day, when the heyday, disco, 1979 was the actual year I started with her. Disco, she was the queen, Miss Ross. Just got a divorce from Barry Gordy, so she's going through a lot, but she's actually the queen, and I'm telling you, her audience is, I'm working in front of 18,000 people every night. And then I'm working in Las Vegas in front of 1,300 people, sold out crowds in the casino showrooms. And you had to have a jacket to even get in the showroom. I would watch Miss Ross every night, learning showmanship. She would come out every night. I would say, I'm coming out. You know that song, that hit? She would sing that song coming out, and you get goosebumps, just chills, watching her come out and just, oh my God, look at that. Every night I would watch her, and she would sing that song, I'm Coming Out. And at the time, did you know that when they wrote that song for her, she didn't know that the guys, it was kind of like a gay song, I'm Coming Out?
It makes sense now.
No, yeah, right? She thought it meant, I'm coming out on the stage, and they had said that song would never hit the charts. When I that those guys were writing for her, and Upside Down, boy, you told me, I was watching her, she was doing, man, it was amazing to learn showmanship. That's why I watch you on stage as young as you are. You learn something from everybody. She would go out there and she would go out to the audiences and the people would love her. Reach out and touch somebody's hand, Diana Ross. And in the meantime, I'm making jokes. I'm going, you don't be reaching out and touching nobody's nasty ass hands. You don't know what these people's hands have been. Shit. Y'all don't know what my hands have been, do you? I know what they've been. They're going to be back there as soon as I get back up to my room. So, so you pick so you pick up little jokes like that. You just have fun. So I did Diana Ross for a year and a half.
How tough was that crowd originally? Because that's something that's kind of a lost art form when it comes to comedians opening up for musicians. That's not really a thing anymore. So no. How tough was that, or if it was tough when you first started opening for Diana Ross?
Good question, Justin. Good question. You know why it's a good question? Because those people coming to see Diana Ross, they didn't come see George Wallace. They wasn't coming to see George Wallace. Who the hell is he? I see comedians back in the opening acts were time to stall. They used to call us settlement comedians. You're on stage while they're backstage getting their money.
Oh, gotcha. Are they settling, getting their money, you on stage?
Yeah, okay, now you get off stage now. And then they also had dinner shows back then. People were eating while we were on stage. And but what the exception is, if you've seen A Pleasant Surprise before.
Yeah.
George Wallace, I can say it was a pleasant surprise. Why? Because I honored my essence. I love what I do. People are not gonna let you laugh alone with this medicine. Oh, this guy's good. This guy's good. This guy's good. Left Diana Ross. They called me for Tom Jones. Now, you might not know. What's new, pussycat? Whoa! This guy is an international star, but I'm with Diana Ross. They asked me to come work for him. I'm going, hell no, I'm working with 17,000, 18,000 people every night. I ain't going nowhere. So Diana Ross had a vacation, summer break, and the agency, William Morris, back at the time, we worked with Tom Jones over for him for a while. I said, I got nothing else to do. Tom Jones, he was a big superstar back in the day and had shows like at Shea Stadium, and all of the ladies loved him because he had a big crotch. He showed his big pack, he showed his jump. White guy.
Oh, I did hear you correctly. You said he had a big crotch. I was like, I don't know if I heard that. I was like, maybe he said crowd, but no, you saying his dick was big. That's what you're saying.
We're not sure.
Okay.
But it would show, and the ladies, black ladies, white ladies, everybody would love him. And then people say, George Wallace, Tom Jones got socks in his pants. I said, yeah, you got a couple pair of shoes in there too, because we became very good friends. But this guy, Justin, this guy is so big. I worked with him the first night.
Well, you said, wait a minute, you said he's so big as a star, not his dick was so big. That's what
you're so fucking stupid. You know what? Nobody.
I just wanted to get clarification. But
all
right.
But if you went to the show, you couldn't help but to see, because no, listen, Justin, let me make this perfectly clear. Back in the 80s, everybody showed their jump. That was the style back then. You wore tight pants and you show your balls and stuff.
There we go.
No.
Hey, shout out to Leo.
No, but it was worse than that, Justin. It was that was your job when you went to the beach and you went to the nightclub, Studio 54. Show your shit. You should bring your pants up and show your shit, I did it. And
I would too if I was around in the 80s.
And everybody dressed back then. So Tom Jones, I worked with him for 5.5 years opening for him. Wow. Now, Diana Ross and George Benson and Natalie Cole, all these superstars I was opening for, you had to go out and do 20 minutes. Tom Jones made me do 45 minutes every night in front of him. And then Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, so we had 2 shows a night, 9 o'clock show, dinner show, midnight show, cocktail show, on the road, 20 minutes. That's a long time. So, and they told me when I worked for Tom Jones that, Mr. Wallace, the first 500 seats down front, these are Tom Jones ladies. These are their fans. They come see him every night. It was a cult. They came see him every night. So don't be surprised if the seats are not open, because they don't come. They come to see Tom Jones. Do you know what those ladies did? They came every night for 5 years all over America. They would come to see George Wallace. They would support me. They start throwing their pantyhose on the stage to me.
Hey, okay.
I would go, eat your heart out, Tom Jones. So all of a sudden we become a family. So doing 45 minutes and 2 shows a night, I also learned very quickly. I got to get a lot of material in here and learn how to do new material, so these people won't see the same act every night. So that taught me how to prepare for a show in Las Vegas.
How did you get your residency in Las Vegas? How did that start?
I'm going to get to that. So we did, you talking about how was it working with Diana Ross. And Diana Ross at the time, her audiences back in the day, Studio 54, was 50% gay. 50% gay.
She got the coming out song, so,
If you're working in front of, you may not have experienced this yet. Times have changed, but if you're working in front of a gay audience or a Black audience or a Jewish audience, when they love you, they're going to show you some love. So I was getting standing ovation. The worst audience in the world is the all Black audience. They will tear your ass up if you ain't ready.
I just told my assistant that the other night, because we was at a club and he was like, it seemed like the Black crowd is the easiest. I said, no, bruh. The Black crowd is the hardest.
The hardest crowd ever. They would tear your ass up. And people say you have a heckler. Now, if you have a heckler, I might be wrong on this, Justin. If you have a heckler, I think the comedian has given cause for some space in there for a heckler to get into your material. I could be wrong, but you should be so prepared that nobody should want to interfere with your progress on stage, with your timing. But I've seen people a little slow and they go, like, okay, all right, what else? And all of a sudden, there's always some guy in the audience thinks he's smarter than you before the show even starts. So you got to be ready to roll. You got a guy like me that come out the real hard school, anywhere in my shows. How about your ugly ass mama, George Wallace? So now I got to deal with that. I'm trying to get away from it, but they won't let me get away from it because, back in the day with Arsenio Hall, I was the king of the your mama joke. It could go for 25, 30 minutes, man. It could go for 25, 30 minutes. Just talking about each other's mama. Yeah, I bother your mama, and I knew them all. I don't know them all now, but I could just make up shit if I want to. Like my good friend J. Anthony Brown on Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Love J. Anthony Brown. He was the first comedy club that let me perform every night in LA.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
So you must be good. See, he's really cool. I did that little J spot. I helped him open the club and like that. But to this day, he still talks about my mama. And we say stuff that's so nasty. Like his mama, right now, well, I went Christmas shopping for her last year. And I found out she likes sporting good, outdoor sporting. So I went down to the sporting store. It's a big sporting store. She loves it. It's Rick's. Is it Rick's? Rick's is a sporting goods store.
I know you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
I thought it was Vicks, but I don't know.
No, Dick's.
Dick's. That's what. That is Dick's. We were close.
I was trying to set you up to say Dick's.
Oh, okay. We should have just called it the Tom Jones. But.
She loved Dick's. How you be thinking? Should have just called it Tom Jones. And she loved Dick's. If you want to get his mama anything, you just go down to Dick's, anything with Dick's. so we, we used to do those jokes, you know, and it was just so good. And tell your mama, and when you get home, Jay, tell your mama they caught that rapist, so she can stop sleeping naked at night with the window open. I used to do all kind of crazy jokes like that. And so, but you just got to be prepared when you go on stage. You have that Diana Ross audience and the black audience, just fantastic. And then you learn how to work any audience. Now, and I'm pretty blessed or prepared or ready or worked hard to do corporate audiences. Some people can't do corporate. That's when you got to go out and be very clean and don't say anything political. You just got to be, and it's gotten really worse now. It's gotten worse.
I'm about to say, why do they want the comedians to be clean? I can understand not saying anything politically incorrect, I guess, but the clean aspect, why do you think that's a thing?
It's just something from history and traditional. Don't say anything. Don't piss anybody off. You got a lot of somebody may be religious, whatever the reason is. Just do clean act. You know, Seinfeld pretty much does clean act, and don't refer to body parts. Don't get into politics, you know, because now you get into politics, you pissed off the Trump people, you pissed off the Democrats. And I have some way of, if it's a really big money, I won't do any political stuff. But at my show, I'm telling you, I don't do political jokes at my show. I don't do no Trump jokes. I tell people I don't do no Trump jokes because I don't have to. But if I did do a Trump joke, I would say, you know, because I could just say shit he said. Next thing you know, 30 minutes, I'm talking about Trump's ass for 30 minutes.
All you gotta do is read his tweets.
Just read his tweets and go in there and I just say shit he said. Like he said, what do we have to lose? We got every damn thing to lose, and you just go into it. Didn't he say, what do you have to lose? Vote for me? And I said, and to this day, this is a joke I used to do. I might remember to do it when I get back on stage. To this day, not one black person in his cabinet. Not one black person. And somebody in the audience would shut up. How about Ben Carson? He ain't one of us. The hell you talking about? Now, you know, I'm on that for 10 minutes, talking about Ben Carson. Now in the cabinet, yesterday I'm writing about no black people in the cabinet. You got Ben Carson. You got a guy named Dr. Jerome something. He's a Surgeon General. You don't hear about them black people too much, do you?
No, I think Ben Carson died. Didn't he die from COVID?
No, that's the guy in Atlanta. That's Herman Cain.
Oh, okay. 1 nigga, 2 nigga, 3 nigga, 4. They all the same.
Ben Carson, he's the hood, Secretary of Hood.
Oh,
so
okay.
I said, Trump is so fucking stupid. They asked him where he came from. They said, well, Ben Carson came from the hood. Trump dumped an ass. Well, put him back in charge of the hood. HUD. You know, so. But so when you get into politics, you just rather not piss off the people because you can make a lot of money when they know you're in corporate, working for McDonald's and working for all of these big corporate companies and doctors' organizations. So you learn how to do it all. I do.
No, I mean, clearly, you're a master of the art form for sure. When did the acting start?